Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new line of Alpinestars RK knee braces. I got the one in front of me, the 7 to my left, and the 10 on my left as well. I'm going to talk about each one, kind of show you what you're getting out of each one of these. This is a new lineup from Alpinestars. It's going to be the new line of knee braces out there. Now, personally, I'm a Leatt fan. That's what I run with. I run with the C-frames from Leatt. There's a lot of cool features in here. I don't know enough that I would say to replace me and my use in my gear set, but a lot of cool features that might be right for you. So I wanted to give a little sneak peek at these and like kind of talk about all the features on here. When you're looking at pricing, the RK1 is going to come in around $260. You're going up to $450 for the RK7, and then you're about $900. Pretty drastic step up for a pair of the RK10s. And you'd be looking at like your average trail rider, someone who might casually ride out on the trails or go to the MX track, and you'd be looking at someone who's dedicated to racing and really looking for maximum protection and lightweight when it comes to the RK10. But starting with the RK1 on here, a lot of features are shared across the line, mainly being the straps on the back. You're still getting 4 straps across it. Some of them are X-style straps, so it kind of combines them. You're still using a little bit of plasma on the inside of the interior knee, on the patella guard at the front. As someone who just tore their ACL last year, I love a good amount of knee protection as well as the hinge systems on the side. You really want to make sure that you're getting a replica of the knee and be able to go forward and back and protect it in the event of an accident. If you're wearing something that's just like TPU guard or just a shin guard or something like that, you're not getting the rotational protection to really protect the inside and the ligaments in the knee. And trust me, as someone who has gone through that injury, that is not something I wish on anyone out there. A lot of them across the entire line, they do have dual hinges built into the side, and each one will come with a unique set, but these little red tabs inside there, so you can adjust it from 0 up to 30 degrees, so it actually has a full stop, so it won't allow any hyperflexion or anything like that. You can really customize it, and except for the RK1 is the only one that doesn't come with foam inside that you can adjust the fit. So keep that in mind, because if you're looking at the RK1s, they only come in a small and a medium and a large and an extra large. Just 2 sizes for these two. The rest come in small through extra large on the normal size range. But what I will say is I have a huge issue with Alpinestars when it comes to their sizing chart. Their sizing chart uses a caliper around the knee. You get the measurement and you reference it. It was all over the place with my measurements. In Leatt's and every other brace out there on the market, I'm like a large, maybe on an extra large, depending on if I've hit leg day and the thighs are going a little bit bigger. But with these ones, I was in like a small. So if you're listening to me, if you're watching this video, ignore the sizing chart. I'll try to work with Alpinestars on that to get them to fix it, because again, it's all over. Each one has its own unique sizing chart and all of them are wrong. I fit in a large. I measured my knee caliper around 4.16 on the caliper measurement. Again, going with it that it's a little bit bigger because it's swollen from my ACL surgery. That put me in a small. A large fit me just fine. So keep that in mind. Use that for whatever reference you have out there, and I'll try to work with Alpinestars to get them to update it so it helps everyone out there. Looking at the knee brace though, let's start with the RK1. You are getting a full TPU, so it is a plastic main construction all the way throughout. Nice that it's split up top. It kind of grabs onto the thighs, and then it has a nice reinforced, thicker brace system in the center. And I mentioned the patella guard in there. You can see the red. That's also on the back side in there. That's their new plasma armor. So they are using CE level 1 armor inside the knee with that plastic that couples to a CE1 certification. But you get that new armor in there. And if you'll notice at the top and bottom, you actually have elastic straps. Now that can be something riders out there like. That can be something that is not something you're the most fond of. I'm personally not a fan of it because it immediately makes your knees want to stand upright. So if you are sitting all day and you're someone on a trail rider that usually sits down, if you have a suspension, if you're a vet rider like myself, where you just don't have the knee capacity or the knee strength to go all day standing up, you are fighting the knee braces the entire time. And that's across the entire board with all 3 of these. So keep that in mind. You can unhook the elastic, but it is sewn to itself, so you'd have to cut that off. It'll still stay, the knee will still stay, but just keep that in mind if you're looking out there and trying to figure out if these are the right ones for you. 4 straps at the rear. They are labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4, depending on how Alpinestars says you should put them on in what order. You always want to do the calf up, make sure it's sitting on top of the calf, because that's going to be the one that holds it the most in place. I'm more of a fan of 1, 2, 3, 4, and doing the bottom one last. It's usually inside the boot. It doesn't really matter how tight it is, but they do have that on there. Nice soft foam on the inside, and again around the side, so you're not going to feel the plates. So that is the one that I have there. If we look at the 7, you still have a TPU main construction, but it is going to be much beefier. It's going to be a lot beefier, has a little bit more of a natural knee curve to it. Again, comes in sizes ranging from small up to extra large. A little bit more of a natural curve. Still comes with the red stopper, so you can adjust the amount of hyperflexion or hyperextension, but it also comes with replacement foam inside, which the RK1 didn't. So you can really adjust it inside to make sure that's fitting. You can still see the plasma. You get a little bit more right at the tip of the shin. But one thing I'll say is they start to trim out the material on the inside. So if you're really gripping the bike like you're supposed to be on the inner knee, the inner side of the calf. So they start trimming away a lot of features. And I do love that they're adding in memory style clips on the back. So if you set your Velcro, you can set it. The one thing I will say is it's only at the top and bottom. They don't do that for the middle ones. So Alpinestars, if you're listening, I'd love to see that on all of them. I use that on my Leats. I've just set the Velcro and I do not adjust it. I just keep putting them on, especially since I'm going to the track or going out riding 3-4 times a week. That's something I don't have to think about every time is adjusting it. Or you get out on the trail, it's not quite in the right spot. So I'd love to see that kind of continued down the entire side. A lot of similar features. One thing I will say, you still get the elastic in there. It's still something you can unclip. Again, it's not as robust, but it is something that it does have everything kind of like get hindered up because of the elastic. You can unclip it, but you would have to cut it off of the actual patella. And on this one, it's a full floating patella, so at the sides, it's not screwed in like the RK1 was. If you get rid of it, it's just gonna be something that removes the knee entirely. So something to just keep in mind on each side. You still get the dual pivot system on each side, so it kind of follows the natural contours of the knee and a really reinforced and thinner base. Looking at the back, you have 4 straps split into 2 X's, and you can adjust it from each side, again, with those memories on there. Just keep in mind you want to do the base, top of the base, go up to the top, and just kind of make sure it's in the right spot while you're riding. Now, from there, you get a big price increase up to the RK10s, which is something that you'd see pro riders out there wearing. This goes from a TPU style frame to a full carbon fiber. I'm pretty sure they're saying like a 35-layer carbon fiber. It is like a forged carbon. It's very nice and it's really robust, but it's gonna be something that saves a lot of weight too. Similar design to the RK7 where they trim off on the inside, but way more foam on the inside, way more athletic foam as well, including the plasma. Much more adjustability on the inside so you can really get it fine-tuned. And you do, again, have the style clips where you can kind of just loop the Velcro through and back on itself. So something to keep in mind, you do still get all that protection, follows the knee contour, but uses all that plasma inside. The RK10 is definitely the beefiest in the lineup. I'd say this is comparison to something like the carbon fiber C-frames or the X-frames or even Mobius or Asterisk would be the other ones. That's really where you're looking at these. The problem I'd say is there's not many pro riders running these, so I'd really like to see some pro riders putting their time in this or GNCCs or something like that just to really see how it's working on the pro level. But it is nice and thin, very streamlined carbon fiber. I like that they're doing that and they are layering it up. It is extremely beefy, but it comes in at that $900 price point. Just keep in mind the sizing things I called out earlier, which is it's kind of all over the board. Take your measurements. I'm 4.16 again on the caliper on my bigger knee, which is the ACL surgery knee, and I fit in a large in all of these with no problem. But if you have any other questions, click that info button. It's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about the new RK series. If you still have questions after that, or if you are confused on which one's right for you or which size is right for you, give our customer service a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining me and checking out the all-new Alpinestars RK knee brace line. I'm Pat, and I'll see you in the next video.